you just set them outside, like you duct tape them and you put them out, and we've got like 3 inches of snow this morning. I think some of it's melted, but we had 3 inches of snow, and it kind of just does its thing. Hey guys, so I started doing a project and I thought somebody's gonna ask me, did I do a video? So I better come grab the camera. So I'm starting some seeds using the winter sowing method. Something I just learned about. I've mentioned it in a couple videos, and while I haven't done quite everything yet, I thought I'd bring you guys along and show you what I'm doing. I will also leave a link in the description below to FreshCutKY, and she is the one that I learned this process from, and I believe she's been doing it for quite some time and having great success. She is in Kentucky. I am in Michigan. I do know I also found a person in Minnesota. I doubt I can go back and find that, but if it works in Minnesota, surely it's going to work for me, right? So basically you take a milk jug, a 2-liter bottle, whatever you need, and you're going to cut it. See that where there's just a little hinge? So you can open it later as the weather warms up. Then you're going to cut drain holes in the bottom, and I just kind of cut slits at each one of these points. And then you're going to cut little ventilation circles, and I usually do 3 around the top. So that one I didn't fill just so you guys could see all the holes and such. Then you're going to fill it with some of your seed starting mix, whatever you use. I'll show you what I use. I buy this Jiffy organic seed starting mix, and it was funny, I had those out in the barn shed, and I had to bring them in to thaw out just so I could use them. So I knew I was doing this today, so I went and grabbed them and brought them in last night so that they were thawed out for this morning. Anyway, so I went ahead and I prepped all my bottles with my soil, just so I didn't bore you guys with that. And I'll tell you what I'm going to plant today. I'm going to plant some thyme. So supposedly what this is good for this time of the year for us here in Michigan are those hardy perennials or hardy annuals. So common thyme is one of those that you can plant as soon as you can get into the soil. Broadleaf sage is a perennial, so I'm going to start some of that. Some Genovese basil, see that? Some Italian large leaf basil. Now this one I'm a little concerned about, only because it does say, oh no, I put that one back. It was another basil. It said tender. So if it said tender, I was just concerned about that. Some Italian oregano. I'm also going to start, I had already started 2 weeks ago, some onions. And I got a little worried, did I start them too early? So I'm going to go ahead and do a few more sets of onions. So I'll show you what varieties I've got of that. I have, and these are all, I believe, long day varieties. So I have yellow sweet Spanish onion, and I have never ever been successful at growing onions. I'll probably go grab them and show you. I will, just so you know how unsuccessful I've been. And what I've learned from researching, like, what is this? Is it something with my soil? What am I doing wrong? That I always grow from sets, and you're only going to get so much yield from that because it's a 2-year-old onion, and onions are biannual crops. And so the best way to go is to start from seedlings. I also have a ruby red long day onion. So I'm going to plant some more of those. Hold on just a second. I'm going to go show you my failure of my onions. So this was a nice long pretty braid of onions, but we've used them all. But you'll see, let me put my hand there for size, that's about as big as my onions get. And they're They're really flavorful. They're nice, but you can't do much with them. So the next step in this process is, I'm gonna move this empty bottle out of my way, is you want to water your soil mixture. So I do this in the kitchen sink, and just turn my faucet on low, and I'll bring you guys over so you can see that. And I'm just gonna wet that soil. I kind of just let it build up and build up, and then once the containers are pretty full, it'll naturally drain, and by the time I get through all the containers, the first one's typically ready for me to throw my seeds in. So it's quite simple, easy enough. And when I'm done, I'll show you. You just set these things outside, and you just set them outside, like you duct tape them, and you put them out, and we've got like 3 inches of snow this morning. I think some of it's melted, but we had 3 inches of snow, and it kind of just does its thing and does this. Plants are going to drop their seeds naturally, right? Winter's going to do its thing, and they're going to come up, the ones that survive. So I do believe in this process you have to plant more seeds than you would if you were starting on it through an indoor grow house. But I'm up for the experiment, because if this works, I think the more hands-off approach will work better for this girl than having to baby something in an indoor grow house. So I'll be back in just a second after I get all these planted, and then I'll show you a couple examples of how you actually do your seeds, duct tape it, and things like that. What a wonderful world. Okay, so I've got all of my water in my jugs, and I'm going to plant my seeds. I have my potting mix in my container, and this is the ruby red onion. I'm going to sprinkle out some seeds, and you're just going to cast them on top. That's about it. And then you close this up. You grab your handy dandy duct tape. Okay, and then you just seal up that little opening. And that's it. And then this will get set outside. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish these up, casting all the seeds, and then I'll take you guys outside with me.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do. They're really saying I love you.
So I'm back. I finished up. I went ahead and added sorrel, and I'll probably just eat it straight from the container if it grows. But it's a fun experiment. So I'm going to take you guys with me as I take these outside. And lucky for us, it's snowing. But simple enough. And I guess what I'm going to plan on doing is just sharing with you guys if it works. And if it doesn't, I'm no worse off. I'll just have to buy starts, I guess. Come on. So I have them all down here, staged and ready for me to run out. So I'm just gonna grab what I can at a time and take you guys with me. Do you see the snow? Probably landing all over me. I forgot to mention too, you wanna label them. like what they are and what date you planted them. So hold on just a second, I'll show you guys. So there's all my penguins that I started late January. And we have broccoli and rhubarb, cauliflower, some onions. But I'm going to go ahead and bring the rest of these out here. And then we'll be done. It's pretty. It's not cold at all. So hold on just a second. I'll be back. Say hi to Rue. Okay, that's it. They're all out here. You just want to put them in a sunny location. This area of our backyard gets lots of sun. So, easy enough. While we're out here, we'll say hi to the chickie ladies and go get my eggs. Whoop, slippery. Hey, hey, mamas. I got some compost this morning. That's what that mess is. Doesn't look like you did much with it. Think we got eggs? We shall see. Okay guys, thanks for playing with me today. Oh, that lighting's terrible. Anyway, thanks for playing with me today in the fake kitchen garden. And I'll let you know if we're gonna have any vegetables. If so, this is about the easiest way I could possibly imagine. You don't even plant them, you just sprinkle them on. Talk to you guys later. Bye.